regular season wins since back in mid-February. Dallas in town tonight.
California love.
There's been no better home show. We've got your seat here at the Staples Center as the Lakers look for a regular season win, 28 in a row, 27 in a row at home against Dallas, and their 11th straight win, an 18-3. Hottest team in the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal, enthused on the defensive end, solid and sharing the ball all the way around. Dirk Nowitzki, second game back from an ankle sprain, has to carry more of the load as one of Dallas's big offensive guns out of the lineup tonight. Welcome to Game 2. Mike Tirico, George Karl, Tom Tolbert. How good have the Lakers been winning this 10 in a row, Coach?
Well, the words of dominance, invincibility, some people are already giving them the championship. I don't think it's way too early to do that, but the sacrifice that this team has made to play as a team has been extremely impressive. And I think that they're very difficult with the past tradition in this game for Dallas to find a way to win.
Tom, Dallas comes here. We were here 53 weeks ago. Yeah. They were great until one of the worst fourth quarters. This team's struggling to find itself right now.
Well, you bring in a lot of new guys. You lose Dirk Nowitzki for a little bit. Now Michael Finley's going to be out. It's tough enough to incorporate all these new guys onto a team, let alone when your stand guys, your guys who have been there last year, are missing. So this team's having trouble on the road. They can't shoot the ball on the road. They're having trouble scoring on the road. And two key numbers, 19 and 0. Last two times these guys played, Lakers had a 19-point lead in each game. Dallas has never led.
Keep an eye on that for tonight. Here are the starting lineups. We mentioned the Mavs have an important part out of their lineup. The guys up front, what you expect, of course, for the Lakers. Devin George, Karl Malone, and Shaquille O'Neal. Antoine Walker, Dirk Nowitzki, and Danny Fortson. Some of the new Mavs acquisitions in their starting lineup. The change in the backcourt for Dallas. The Lakers will go with Peyton and Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and Josh Howard. From Wake Forest gets the start. No Michael Finley. For the reason why, here's Jim Gray.
Well, Mike, he's back at the hotel in Marina Del Rey. He's not with the team. He hurt his big right toe. Talked to Don Nelson before the game. He's calling it like a turf toe. He did it against the Clippers in the fourth quarter. He had 38 points in that game here in Los Angeles a few nights ago. It swelled up on him quite a bit. According to Don Nelson, this is not a temporary thing. This could linger for at least maybe a couple of weeks. So they're going to have to be without their guy, Michael Finley, 17 points and 5 rebounds a game. It's a big blow, Mike.
Certainly is, Jim, for a Mavericks team, as Tom mentioned, struggling on the road. 2-7 away from the American Airlines Center. Steve Javy, the crew chief, along with Scott Wall and Kevin Fair, working the game tonight here in Los Angeles. It was exactly 13 years ago tonight, the last time the Mavs beat the Lakers on the road. Trying to change that tonight. The shot, Gary Payton. The Lakers lead significant because Dallas, in the first two games this season, has not led against the Lakers.
Well, you want to know what their problem is? Just look at the jump ball. Shaq versus Danny Fortson. That's a problem right there.
Nowitzki off the screen, squares the game at 2. Mavs played here earlier this week, and they lost to the Clippers, blowing a 20-point lead as Glenn Rice, back off the injury list, hit a shot at the buzzer.
Dallas has been in zone both possessions down the court.
There are losses, and there are bad losses. That was a bad loss.
That was a loss you don't sleep.
Kobe Bryant runs to the open spot of the zone. Steve Nash with the rebound. Pull-up transition triple. And it's 2. But the Mavs do lead against the Lakers for the first time in 2+ games.
More zone.
Has Dallas played as much zone as they did last year, George?
Nelly said this morning, because of all the changes, that's the one thing he hasn't been able to get to, the zone. And they would like to play a lot of zone tonight.
Payton gets into the dead spot of the zone and ties the game at 4.
Well, that's where you control a zone defense. Whoever gets control of that middle paint area, whether it's offensively or defensively, will own the zone.
Nash responds with the runner. It was 2 of 12 shooting nights from the field against the Clippers for Nash. Last game in here. Malone hits from the outside.
I think Dallas's personality, Nowitzki and Nash have kind of been down a little bit, and Antoine Walker's been the lead guy. I like Nash coming out aggressive. I like Nowitzki to jump back into the personality of this team strong.
Third start for Josh Howard, the rookie. That ball turned over. Don Nelson, 2,999th regular season game as a player or a coach in the NBA.
He's just been amazing. You're talking about a guy who, along with Lenny Wilkes, is one of only two coaches who coaches 3 teams with 250 victories. And he's just innovative. I mean, the stuff that he's done in the league, and I'm sure he's not real happy with that one.
Yeah, a travel was called as Fortson went up. Kobe came flying across to try to block the shot, and Fortson caught his own miss, which was an air ball, thus the travel.
Now, the one thing quickly about Nelly that I always thought was pretty fascinating is he always forced other coaches to match up with him. He didn't match up with other coaches. He forced you to kind of change the way you played the game as a coach.
Devin George misfires from the outside. Lakers had hit 3 of their first 4 field goals. George gets the defensive assignment on Antoine Walker here. Malone and O'Neal went up for the rebound, out off the same team, so the Lakers will lose it. Phil Jackson very satisfied with the 18-3 start, obviously, as he tonight goes for his 250th win as the Lakers head coach. Dirk from up top. Just the 3, and Kobe gets the board. Watch what Dallas falls into defensively here.
They're playing all zone. Yeah, every time back, even in transition, they're playing 2-3.
On the deflection, it is 4-on-2 Dallas. Nash to Walker. Antoine Walker is averaging 17 points a game, top 10 in the league at 10 rebounds per. So his numbers have fit right in here in Dallas. It's just a question of everybody getting comfortable personality-wise, as the Lakers have done so smoothly in the first 21 games. 3-second violation on L.A.
Well, when Dallas plays their best basketball, it's in the open court. Right here, the errant pass. Nowitzki gets to the middle to Nash and quickly to the other side to Antoine Walker for the layup. They're at their best offensively. Now, they can score in the half court, but if they can get to a shot before the defense has a chance to set up, that's when they can really do some damage.
Nowitzki has a low block on Devin George. Dallas leads 10-6.
In a lot of ways, the game's going power against speed. It's going to be a game of Dallas trying to be fast and quick. And, of course, LA's got the power. Their size is very evident just watching the game right now.
Mavs have opened 5 of 8 from the field. They double O'Neal in the post. And Malone takes the jumper. Comes away with the rebound.
Oh, yes, he does.
Transition. That's the Steve Nash we saw last year when the Mavs were high octane and got off to the terrific start, winning their first 15.
Well, Nelly always wants his point guards to be aggressive and look to score. He feels like they play much better when Nash is looking to score.
George misses, and Nowitzki gets another rebound.
The zone is slowed down LA right now. They have no rhythm. They have no idea what they're going to run.
Hard foul by O'Neal as Nowitzki hits the deck. And I believe we have a flagrant call on that one. Nowitzki is okay. Obviously, attention has been heightened between these teams from what happened last time they met when Karl Malone elbowed Steve Nash.
Well, you got to make a play on the ball, and that was not a play on the ball. That was the intent was there to take him down. At the very end, he grabs the ball. That's a good call. That's a flagrant foul.
So 2 shots, then possession.
I kind of like it. Well, I do too. And give like an early in the credit. And taking it in there against Shaq. I mean, the Karl Malone-Nash incident was the last time they played.
Yes.
Yeah. And now we have this, and it's obviously that Dallas is perturbed.
Well, it led to a 1-game suspension for Karl Malone. Missed the game against Utah here on Sunday. Mark Cuban was very vocal about that. Here is the incident from last week when these two teams met. Malone elbowing Nash, who came up bloodied in the 114-103 win 8 days ago.
Now, that's really surprising, Mike. I mean, I just can't imagine Karl Malone leading with the elbow. That never happens.
Nash takes it in, got O'Neal in the air. Danny Fortson goes inside, and he is fouled, as the Mavs have been an aggressive team here in the first 4.5. Well, it was a very vocal Mark Cuban about the suspension, that the suspension was needed, and Karl Malone blamed Cuban for the suspension. Cuban's quote was, what Karl Malone did, and there is Mark, traveling, always makes the games in L.A. What Malone did was malicious and intentional, and just one more in a long line of incidents. And everybody said, well, is there a rivalry between these two teams? And Kobe Bryant said, there's no rivalry. And Steve Nash, to his credit, said, you know what? There isn't. When you don't come to their place and win 26 consecutive times, that's not a rivalry. Yeah. You have to have equal competition for a rivalry. And although Dallas has been great in regular seasons, they have not been competitive with L.A. You can see O'Neal wanted the ball there. It stops a 9-0 Mavericks run.
Danny Fortson doing a nice job sprinting down to the other end of the court to make Shaq run and respect his ability to get the ball in transition.
Well away from the hoop, Devin George got him on the wrist, says Steve Javie. And the foul is called. 3 on the Lakers thus far.
I think that right now, Nelly's going after the Nowitzki-George matchup. He just thinks Nowitzki's got too much size. He's touched the ball 3 times in a row down on the low block. Kind of a cheap foul, but he did get him on the wrist. Soft foul. I like this game, guys. I really think we have a basketball game. I think Dallas has got a face on them that they're kind of perturbed. They're in here. They're going to zone a lot. It's going to be interesting how the Lakers are going to have to find a new answer, a different answer.
Well, they got to sit around here and hear about how bad it was for them to blow a 20-point lead and lose to the Clippers, which is disrespectful to the Clippers. They had a big night. They had Glenn Rice come back in the lineup, Elton Brand as well. And L.A. earned the comeback win, but Dallas got to sit here in town for 3 days, hear it, think about it, and they've come out with a little bit of an attitude, a little wrinkle with this zone here to start the game.
The Lakers right now are just passing the ball around the perimeter. You got to find the seams. You got to find the middle, the soft underbelly. And then if you just go around the outside, you're going to have a hard time scoring.
See, 2 to shoot, they're not going to get a great shot. Malone passed to Kobe. 3-second violation called instead.
I think one of the weaknesses the Lakers has is three-point shooting. Against the zone, that's what you get teams out of zone by making threes. And right now, if Dirkalicious doesn't come in the game, I don't think they're afraid of three-point shot.
Well, someone's going to flash to the middle. And that's how you reverse the ball against the zone, and everybody's just camped around the perimeter.
Josh Howard from the outside missed it. Bryant went up and pulls down the rebound. The Lakers haven't been able to be good in transition, which they've been all year. Kobe taking over here, and it's put back in. Nash on the other end, that's a 2.
It should be fine. Every player, why they step on the line?
I don't think he meant to.
But he does it a lot.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last year. Underneath, O'Neal battling for position, and Danny Fortson was riding him. Steve Nash takes so many 22-foot 2s that he makes.
Some coaches call it the worst shot in basketball.
Oh, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Some coaches fine people for taking that shot.
That's not a collective bargaining agreement. You can't do that.
What do you
fine a guy for
Why do you keep taking things away from coaches? I mean, we're losing ground now. You're taking more things away.
Tell the players, that's why.
Laker ball when we come back. By the way, that last hoop on the Bryant drive has been credited to O'Neal. The Mavs, so many different pieces. We'll talk about the pieces. Reasons that this team is 13-8 right now.
Well, they're doing something good. They're winning at home. They're dominating at home, but they're not winning on the road. And that just has changed. And last year they won 27 road games, the best in the league, won 60 games. And it's just the team right now has not found its personality.
O'Neal inside, lost Walker, and he will come to the free throw line. Steve Nash with the foul. Antoine Walker, one of the key players, came over in the deal from Boston.
Well, Nelly's excited about Antoine Walker. He thinks he is playing well. He thinks he's the one player on his team that has played every night as an all-star. Injuries have stopped Nowitzki and Nash, now Finley. And it's just a change. The change has slowed them down defensively. They don't play as much zone. And I think the change has slowed them down a little bit offensively, too.
That made free throw was waved off by Steve Javie because Shaquille O'Neal broke the plane of the free throw line before the ball got up to the cylinder. Phil Jackson laughing at Javie on the way back up the floor. It's a rule that a lot of the GMs have complained about with O'Neal specifically. Reason is being emphasized this year. Lakers trailing by 9. Karl Malone. 10th in the league in field goal percentage, averaging 51% from the field.
Well, keep an eye on what Danny Fortson's doing. They're trying to get him involved in some pick and rolls to make Shaq have to step out and help, and he's not really comfortable doing that.
They're almost playing a box and one. The box and one, Fortson being on shot.
Off Nowitzki's foot, reset the shot. Chance to remind you that you can decide which players will be all-star starters. Log on to NBA.com and cast your ballot for the 2004 NBA All-Star Game. A couple of months from now, right here at the Staples Center. And of course, the voting came out. The first look at it as Devin George missed the three. And Kobe Bryant leading Western Conference vote getters. Heartened Kobe greatly. Walker on the isolation. Devin George getting beat up here in this first quarter. And a technical foul called on George as there was pushing behind the play. Steve Javie gave George the tee.
A crafty play by Antoine Walker, because I think a case could be made that Antoine Walker pushed up to give himself enough room to get that shot off.
Nash, who missed the two free throws at the end of the game in the loss to the Clippers, knocks down that one.
Well, that was the elbow right there and got him some space. And let's see Devin George.
Oh, Steve Javie.
What was that?
I think Steve just wants me on camera for a little bit.
And a technical foul call on Gary Payton for his conversation on the way up. He threw the ball past Javie, and Payton has been ejected. As he went to throw the ball back to Javie, he threw it past him with good pace. And Steve Javie, as you know, if you watch the NBA, you don't want to push too hard. And a quick night for Gary Payton.
This is drastic. I mean, taking Gary Payton out of the game at this moment is not good for our game. No, I think you give the first one. You got to do a lot to get the second one in the first quarter. And I don't think that warranted the second technical foul. Maybe the first tech, not the second tech. The second tech should have been delay again.
Here you go. Talking to Javie on the way up the floor, and right there gets the tee. Now watch the ball toss.
It's just a bad pass. That could have been a delay a game. They could have given him a delay a game, punished him, made sure he stood up to him. I feel bad that Gary's on the game.
So Gary Payton on his way back to the Laker locker room. Off to the left, Derek Fisher in 24-12. And guess what? Attention has been achieved here for the Lakers. Now George on the dot.
Derek Fisher, that's the first time against that zone somebody dribble penetrated, sucked the defense over, then kicked to a cutter.
Walker, happy foot jumper, misfired. Here comes Kobe. Lakers got a little look in their eyes right now. Obviously displeased at losing one of their core group here in the first quarter. Bryant on the tick was fouled as he got close.
Oh, certainly losing Gary Payton hurts. And the thing that upsets me is you get a lot of people that pay to come watch this, watching it on TV, and you want to see the superstars. That being said, it's not bad when you lose Gary Payton. You have a guy who captained 3 straight NBA final wins for the Los Angeles Lakers coming in off the bench.
Kobe meets the first. Here's Jim Gray.
Mike, as Gary Payton was coming off the court going back into the locker room, I asked him if he said anything to get the second technical. He shook his head and he said, no, nothing. Mike?
Thanks, Jim. Bryant hits the most. You know, Tom, and George, I agree. I came here. I want to see Gary Payton, one of the better players in the league. But I don't think that should ever be the determining factor for calling a tip. You can't look at who it is. I know guys do, and I know veterans should get away with more than a rookie, but if in the official's opinion you went too far, that's subject to interpretation. It doesn't matter who it is. Just because we paid money or we're here to watch a national TV game. If you deserve tees, you get it. Fisher, a break. And a push in the back on Nowitzki. Last couple of calls against Dallas.
Mike, I would concur with that. Only to the point that if it's something that's egregious, it doesn't matter.
Karl Malone tee coming here. Malone mouthing with Javie after the last call was on Nowitzki. And he gets a technical. So that is 4 technicals and a flagrant call in the first 8:15 here.
Nash could have 25 points and free throws by the end of the quarter. He's like licking his chops over there.
That time, Nash missing. Here was the play. Clearly a foul on Nowitzki was called. And then the conversation continued. And I don't know what Carl said to Javi about the call, but it was enough to get a tee.
Let me tell you a little something.
And the conversation continuing between the two. Oh, Jim Gray, one more time.
Mike, it was right in front of me here. Malone didn't like the way he was pushed. He said something to Nowitzki. Nowitzki responded. He said it to him again. Then he said what he said to Steve Javi. I cannot repeat it on television, but he wasn't very happy and said if that happens again, under no uncertain terms, will he allow it to continue. Mike?
It's the unrepeatable part, even though we are on cable past 11 on the East Coast on a Friday night. That's got the tee. That got the tee.
Steve Javi will not be gun shy either. He will keep calling teams if he feels like it's warranted.
Nash on the miss. O'Neal up high for the rebound. Shaq's been very good at the defensive end. Transition, Devin George to take. We approach 3 minutes here in the first.
That's 6-0. Paycheck kicked out.
He's 6-0 since the ejection. Marty Aronoff, our Statman Supreme, confirms now. Nice find for Josh Howard. And the rookie out of Wake Forest, a guy who, by the way, stayed in school 4 years, is coming to the NBA ready to contribute on a good team. Malone inside. Quick finish. 3 blue shirts there, and Walker comes away with it for Dallas. Fortune got Nash's way.
What do you think, Coach? Sometimes Carl, he pays the price for looking for the body sometimes, and when he doesn't get it, he doesn't have the balance he wants. He's trying to get the ball for it quick release. And sometimes he loses his focus on making the shot.
O'Neal calls for the foul. That is his second, as all made by Steve Nash's dribble penetration. Nice, relaxed, a couple of Fridays before Christmas. A lot of love. Great to see you guys. Oh.
We have intensity in the building.
Flagrant and 3 technicals. Gary Payton for the verbiage. And the throwage. That 2, that toss, got him tossed. And then after a foul against Dirk Nowitzki, Karl Malone said something Steve Javi didn't really want included in the holiday cards. And Karl got his first tee. We're still up 3 quarters.
Mike.
All right, Kevin, you got it. Utah team's been terrific at home, guys. 11-2 at home, trying to get number 12. Well, Shaq takes a seat. David Spade among those courtside, watching the interesting opening to this game. 26-18. There's Jack Nicholson. We'll hear from Jack a little bit later on with Jim Gray coming up at halftime. Something's got to give. Jack's new movie with Diane Keaton opening tonight. Is that Kurt Rambis or Kevin Costner? That's Costner. He looks a little bit like Rambis, don't you think?
Well, if you mentioned the postman, he'd probably say Kurt Rambis started that one.
See, there's Rambis.
Rambis looks better.
Oh, wait a minute. 27-18. Mavericks on top here by 9 as we get to the 2-minute mark. Slava Medvedenko in the game for LA. Bryant taking more offense here with his zone defense. And Danny Fortune gets the rebound.
Their zone defense is fully stymied him. Just taking their rhythm from them. They don't know how to play right now.
Walker spinning on Medvedenko, and we have a foul on Dallas. Travis Best is also checked into the game, along with Antoine Jameson. Fortune's going to pick up the foul. It's 2 on Danny. He comes to the bench. And Nowitzki, Walker, Jameson, Josh Howard, and Best are the 5 on the floor. The free throws on the other end here as Karl Malone comes to the line. Saturday on NBA TV, you'll see the Celtics take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Wednesday on NBA TV, it'll be these Mavs taking on Boston. That will be the return of Antoine Walker to the Fleet Center. Of course, Antoine making some news earlier this week. Yesterday, quotes in the Boston Globe, very unhappy with Danny Ainge. The reasons for that move. Motivation behind it. Lane violation. So the Lakers have had a couple of free throws go by the boards here, although that one didn't go in. Slava Medvedenko was in the lane.
Javy may need a whistle at halftime. The whistle exchange program going. They might need the governor's security to get out of the building.
The governor's supposed to be here tonight, Governor Schwarzenegger. 8 to shoot for Travis Best. Pass by Fisher. Got a very nice pick by Walker. And free throws coming. You know, can we come back to the tee for a second on Peyton? As we talked during the break, I don't know if it's the wrong thing to do. The ball that Garrett, the first tee, we weren't here in the conversation.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was a quick trigger or not. But the second one, what do you say about that ball? That ball was thrown not to an official, obviously in Steve Javy's direction.
Okay.
Unhappily.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be allowable?
Well, what harm did it do? I don't think he didn't throw it right at his head. He didn't fire it back at him maliciously to try to hurt Steve Javy. He was obviously unhappy.
He didn't come too far from him, Tommy. I mean, what'd you say? He got Sunday bowling on ESPN. That would have picked up
8-10.
At 8-10.
Absolutely. but the thing is, he didn't hit him. And I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just thinking that was very easily he could just laugh that one off, turned his back, and said, you know what? I'm not going to call that one.
Alone misses it. And any good official will tell you that his job is to not be noticed.
Yeah.
To not be a deciding factor in a game. Howard missed a 3, Kobe the rebound. I don't know, Coach. Am I off the deep end here?
I just think it should have been a delay of game situation. Confront him that way. Last couple of possessions, Dallas has played man-to-man. Shaq on the bench. Dallas is now in man-man.
Bryant 0 for 4 from the field. Walker twirling, finds Nowitzki.
Ooh. Look out.
And we get a whistle behind the play.
That had some serious sauce on that one. That should be on ESPN, too. Look at this one. That is saucy. I mean, if I was a judge and I had to give style points, that one would have been worth about 3.5 points.
They had to reset the game clock. We had a clock malfunction there momentarily. His feet are so sweet. A lot of times they're so unsettled, he gets some of those 4 jumpers off. Bryant tries to break the zone. That's now 0 for 5 for Kobe from the field. The Lakers are 8 of 21 as a team. Jamison lets Russell fly by, and it's a 33-19 Dallas lead. Haven't we been here before where the Mavs get a big lead in December on a Friday night against the Lakers?
Doing a good job forcing the Lakers to take jump shots.
Slava Medvedenko. Uncertain there. They continue to pass it around. Bryant trying to get on the board. Now 0 for 6.
He hasn't been close.
Best. Rebound to Malone. Bryant. And it is no good at the end of the quarter. So the Lakers held under 20. The Mavs tonight. It's a 14-point Dallas lead. But you see that memorable evening 53 weeks ago. That was a complete disaster for Dallas, the Mavs team that had started so hot at 15-0 and suffered its 3rd setback of the season here at Stadium.
I went to bed.
You went to bed?
I went to bed.
Did you have a game perhaps that night, George?
I just went to bed. I'm 27 fourth quarter. I went to bed.
Wasn't the commentary of the game, was it? Nowitzki gets it back and makes.
A lot of people said they saw that game. I think they saw Sports Center next morning. It was amazing. Absolutely. And the funny thing was, as soon as they got it down to about 15, you saw it coming.
You did, right?
And you saw it coming from a mile away.
A derisive cheer from the fans as Steve Javy called the personal once O'Neal was knocked down by Fortune. That's 3 on Danny.
Well, I think in this game, Shaq, how he gets involved with his own defense is going to be important. That time he just bumped him. And I don't think Danny Fortson can hit him on the ground like that does. What are you going to do? And what are you going to do? You know, I was thinking, Danny Fortson, most games he plays against, he's bigger and he bullies everybody else. Tonight, he's being bullied. Well, Shaq bullies everybody.
Kareem Rush in the game, and he knocks down his jumper. Rush has seen his minutes go down with the addition of the veterans.
I actually was thinking that the game was calling for a shooter to be on the court, and I think Phil's countered with Rush.
Travis Best missed. Derek Fisher the rebound. Sean Bradley has checked in for his turn at Shaq. O'Neal hands to Rush, who hits back-to-back field goals. You were asking Phil Jackson about his bench. Hey, Kareem Rush is the one guy he hasn't been able to get in, and you can see Kobe Bryant and the rest of the Lakers happy to see the second-year man out of Missouri get his chance here.
I think we got 4 bench players in the game right now with Shaq.
Yep. Brian Russell, Slavo Medvedenko, Derek Fisher, and the aforementioned Rush. Nowitzki on the drive, and the rookie Howard misfired. O'Neal gets the rebound. A rare stretch without 2 of the Laker Fab 4 on the floor, and Sean Bradley picks up his first. O'Neal just a smile and a laugh, as if to say, you have no chance of stopping me, Sean.
Well, Sean's in there to play as hard as he can and pick up 6 fouls. And right here, Howard goes underneath. That is a big pick to go underneath, a really big one. By the time you come out the other side, half an hour may have passed. And you see right here, he's going to set the pick. Rush is going to come off. It's too hard to get around that pick.
So O'Neal earlier called for violating the free throw line before the ball got to the cylinder. Makes both there, and it's a 10-point game. Antoine Jameson off the mark, and Bradley squeeze it. Nope, cannot. He got his left arm wet as he went into somebody's drink down there in the front row. He has leg wet, too.
That's probably $12.50 worth of beverage, too, I guarantee you.
And it was a Sprite, too. He helped clean the floor, clean his legs. He's a nice guy.
I'm going to be real interested to see what Dallas does mentally.
He smelled his arm to see what it was. Russell faked the 3. O'Neal is doubled. Man, you came down to the post and you smelled like a cocktail. Tony Delk, who came in the game, third rush. But Kareem has hit 3 shots now. 8-point game.
How will they handle this rush the Lakers are putting on?
Offensive foul traps back.
They know they haven't won here in forever. They know they lost a 30-point lead last year. They know they've lost 45 out of 50 to the Lakers overall. You can say you don't read papers, but you know these things, and it manifests itself sometimes in different ways. But when you get a big lead and teams are coming back, you have a tendency to think, here we go again.
Russell, a 3, and Nelly gets up. We'll let them play it out here at 35-30. And gets the foul call as Jameson was heading towards the goal. It's on Russell.
Well, the defensive principles right now for LA is to put 2 guys around Shaq all the time. And Russell now made the 3. Maybe he'll get out and stretch out a little bit more. I don't think so.
Nash used the wall provided by Bradley to knock one down.
I think Dallas is going to try to make it a shooting game. They think they're a better shooting basketball team, and if Lakers keep shooting from the outside and don't try to get Shaq involved, I think it'll be benefit to Dallas.
Slavo Medvedenko over Nowitzki. O'Neal very active on the inside. Looking for the foul call, I think. Looking for something. He was smiling and happy on the way back down. Nowitzki on the mismatch. O'Neal came over to help defensively, but Nowitzki cleans it up.
I always worry when he goes up and falls down like that. Those plates in San Andreas are pretty fragile around here. You kick one off of those 7.5 babies.
Offensive foul. 3 on O'Neal. 3 on Danny Fortson. 8:28 to go here in the first half.
The Lakers are going to play with 2 Hall of Famers the rest of the way this half. Instead of 4.
Oh, the stress. Oh, the difficulty. Leading scorers, Nash and Nowitzki, 13 and 12 each. No Laker double figures. Shaq has 3. Peyton's been tossed with 2 teams. Kevin, the Lakers and Sacramento, the only 2 teams over 500 in the Pacific. But Shaquille O'Neal right now, 3 personal fouls as he sits on the bench. Let's go back to that last sequence of plays.
Shaq is just too powerful. Bradley's got to give Dallas 15, 20 minutes tonight And here Shaq is just kind of rubbing and pushing him. Puts it back in. Thought he got fouled. Next time down, I think Sean gives a little flop here. Shaq takes across the middle. Big, strong bump.
That's no flop. He crushed him.
Tony Delk misfired. Horace Grant in off the bench. Couldn't squeeze it. And Nash comes away with it. Eduardo Nahara has joined the Dallas lineup. Jameson, this is the three. And Medvedenko, who works with Bryant, Grant, Russell, and Rush for LA. Down 7 with 8 to go before halftime.
If you're the Mavericks against this Laker lineup they have on the court right now, you better be able to hold this lead or extend it going into halftime.
Kobe 0-6 from the field. Missed poorly on many of them. Has to take a deep triple. Russell able to get the rebound. Reed Rush for another one. That was one. Saved by Grant. LA will get a third tryout. Kobe has Delk on the mismatch. And goes over Tony. 0 for 8. Rush kept it alive. Delk tries a quick answer. Rebound to Grant. 3-on-2 LA. Got Slava. And Russell. That's 3. 20-second timeout, Dallas. Kareem Rush. Second quarter story tonight. Kareem Rush, who has scored only 10 points in the last 5 games, has 8 in the last 5 minutes.
Right here, just a hell of a job working on the offensive glass. Look at that. He's got 4 guys around him, and he's the one that secures the offensive rebound. And then right here, running down the middle of the court, Slava makes the defense respect him, kick it out, wide open three for Russell, cuts lead from 7-2 in a blink of an eye. Right now, Lakers, your energy and intensity are getting them back in the basketball game. They got Rush making some shots, but energy and intensity are getting them extra possessions. That possession where they got 3 offensive rebounds. In practice, they'd be running some sprints on that one. They'll do that. People do that. NBA geeks don't run sprints, coach. You know that. That's college stuff. That's why that's old school.
Bryant, good defense on Nash. And the Lakers will have a chance to tie this game. LA led at 2-0.
How you feeling if you're the Mavericks right now? Kobe's over 8, Shaq's the bench, Carl's the bench, Payton's out of the building, and you're losing.
By 1 on the 3 by Russell. Nowitzki has the advantage inside. Pass incomplete from Walker. It's second down.
You see right here, nice job by Kobe getting in the way of the defender. Russell steps out, easy look. Now it's got to be thinking, what in the world is going on here?
It's been the LA bench that has done it. Bryant, not Josh Howard, the shot to the goal, throws it down. First field goal for Kobe. Nash got by him. Finds Jameson inside. It's good durability. Antoine Jameson playing his 268th consecutive game. Stops a 10-0 run there.
I think Nowitzki's got to find more personality in the game. He's got to get more shots, more touches, more involved. Right now, it seems like he's just a good player rather than a great player.
Rush on the run. No, it was going good, but
Pulled the string a little bit on that one.
a little bit. Antoine sets his feet. Knocks down a deep triple. Walker from up top. So used to seeing him hit that shot, you say Antoine. You got 2 Antoines here. Spelled differently. And a timeout taken by the Lakers.
Well, Kobe Bobby has been hitting shots from the outside. Right here, gets a defender up in the air, loses the ball, says, you know what, it's right there. I'll go ahead and take it from point-blank range. Boy, did he get a bucket and assist on that? Is that not steps?
That's his wife and daughter, Vanessa and Natalia, watching. Meantime, Nash sets up Antoine Walker for a triple up count that put Dallas back on top. 5-2. Very entertaining Friday night in L.A. You look at the tough stuff in the paint tonight. Leonardo DiCaprio among those on hand watching the Lakers and Mavs. L.A. trying to beat Dallas here in L.A. for the 27th consecutive time. Well, George Carl, before the game, we asked Phil Jackson how his bench is playing. He's getting an answer tonight.
He was saying he was happy with his bench, but he hasn't played very much. Tonight, it's been rush, rustle, and hustle. It's gotten them back into the basketball game. And then lead, where I think everybody would expect after Dallas' big run that they would have a bigger lead. But no, the bench has got them back into a very good position right now.
That's right. They see Russell and Rush 17. As a matter of fact, the Big Four have 19 of the Laker points. The rest of the team, 23. So Bryant, after missing his first 8 shots, has hit his last 2. We're all square at 44 with 4:44 to go.
Yeah, sometimes you can go into a shooting funk, and if you get yourself an offensive rebound layup or just a driving layup, you can get yourself going.
Nowitzki inside, using the height advantage on Russell. One of the things Don Nelson's great at, one of the best ever at identifying mismatches and getting the best shots for his guys.
Walker also made a great pass from the point forward type of mentality.
Kareem Rush missed his last 2. Josh Howard with the rebound. On stop, he'll shoot. Solid ball play.
A nice play. Keep the ball in the middle. The defense doesn't commit. Pull to take an easy 15-footer.
The first Wake Forest draftee since some guy named Duncan, giving the Mavs a 4-point edge. Will be looking for space to outbreak. Horace Grant inside is called, or picks up the foul on Howard.
I've seen a few Laker games this year, and they're using combinations that I've never seen before. And I know it's out of necessity. Gary Payton being ejected, foul trouble. But you wonder how these guys, as the game goes on, if they have to keep playing these different combinations who haven't played together, how are they going to do for a whole game?
One more time for Horace Grant tomorrow on ABC. Top golfers in the world. Just about 45 miles from here at Sherwood Country Club in Thousand Oaks. The Target World Challenge presented by Williams. It's Tigers Tournament, the 5-time Player of the Year. Just a shot off the lead, held by Padraig Harrington. 3 Eastern, noon Pacific tomorrow on ABC.
Did you see on SportsCenter last night they had the Tiger Charles Barkley Nike golf commercial?
How funny is that? How funny is that?
Clean up on aisle 5.
That was a funny commercial. Yeah, if you didn't see it, we'll run in our coverage on ABC over the weekend. Nash, a tough shot. 3. The Lakers went to it. Howard got away with it. Jamison quick, trigger triple. And Malone back in there with the rebound. Malone, Grant, Devin George up front. Rush and Bryant in the backcourt. Just joining us, Gary Payton, 2 teams ejected in the first quarter. Bryant, 2 of 11 in the loose ball foul on L.A. John Malone.
Even though the zone hasn't stopped Dallas, I think it's still messing with them a little bit. I think there's a slowness, a bad reaction. They don't react as well when the zone is run effectively. Even though, Dallas, Lakers are going to score 50 points or more. But right now, I think the zone does have it fit.
Devin George came charging through the Antoine Jamison screen. Picked up the foul. Coach, with the defensive changes, we've seen more teams play more defense. And we'll talk about it on the other side of the break. All the coaching changes may have affected how much zone we're seeing this year. And the player changes as well. Mavs by 2. All right, guys, in addition to the conversation, there is Jack, who will be visiting with Jim Gray coming up at halftime. Well, the guys spoke about it on the key NBA shoot-around before. Another coaching change. We've had 1 a week here in the last 3 weeks. Mike D'Antoni taking over for Frank Johnson in Phoenix. 14 total coaching changes since the end of last season. Terry Stotts in Atlanta is the longest tenured coach in the Central Division at a year plus George, we talked about the zone defense we're seeing tonight. Is that one of the, there's so many different things that have happened with player movement as well. Are those the reasons that we're seeing teams not play as much zone as maybe we saw last year?
Well, I think zone takes a little longer to adapt to. I think the zone has a way of disrupting the flow of the game. But Nelly said today the reason he has not played a lot of zone is because of the changes. He didn't have enough time to work on it, to get the philosophies in. Last year at this time of year, Nelly was playing about half the game with zone. Now tonight they played over half the game so far with zone, and I think they're going to stay with it.
Sweet spin. Rush, he got it to go. And the foul.
He's having a great quarter.
He might need some Dramamine after that move. Holy mackerel. Look at this. Woo! He's spinning around. He's going underneath armpits. Up in the
Armpits. Thanks, Tom.
Nice move.
Thanks, Tom. Rush 10 points in 10 minutes.
Gotta finish that.
Kareem, who was the college roommate of Josh Kroenke at Missouri. Josh's dad, Stan, the owner of the Denver Nuggets, one of the surprise teams in the NBA this year. O'Neal and Bryant on the bench. Peyton ejected. Gennaro Pargo's in the game. The only player of the Fab Four on the floor is Karl Malone, who's calling for it inside. Pargo takes over Nash. And the second-year man from Arkansas missed it. And Howard comes away with the rebound. Nowitzki, that's 2. And that looks like the Dirk Nowitzki from last year. 16 for Dirk, 8 in each quarter thus far.
We've got 3 of those for the game. Those online.
8 to shoot. They left Rush free. Smooth.
Yeah, I think he's in the zone.
Oh, Nash loses Pargo. Missed the layup, but Antoine Walker clean up down the lane. I was thinking they'd clean up on aisle 5 line from before, but I didn't have a good one, so. Nice stop by Pargo to find Horace Grant. Final minute. Pargo went for the steal on Nash. Nowitzki left free for 3.
We got a goal now.
It's one of the better offensive halves Dallas played in a while.
It's one of the better offensive halves in the league this year, Tom.
True.
We're approaching final score territory from Houston San Antonio last night. Off Pargo's foot. Mavs ball. Chance for a 2-for-1 here with 43 seconds left.
No, you better believe Nelly go 2-for-1. They go 3-for-1.
3-for-2.
Look at it, they're up yelling for it. Just go. Go on it, Nash. Let's go.
Someone's firing.
And a foul called pre-shot. Lakers with 3 fouls. It'll be the first in the last 2 minutes.
This half, Dallas has had Nowitzki and Nash involved. They're the dominant players. And I think in some of the games I've seen, Walker's been the dominant player. And those 3 guys are going to have to work out their personality because they were a great team last year, and they got to put Walker involved with that. But I don't think they can unbalance the situation.
A clear for Antoine to work on Horace Grant. That is off L.A. And now the shot clock will go off with exactly 24 left.
Oh, the last couple of times down the court, they've had trouble keeping him off the offensive glass. You think if Dallas is a great offensive team, also second in the league in offensive rebounding.
That's so different from them last year. They were an awful rebounding team last year. And now with Jamison and Walker, they've become a better rebounding basketball team.
They've gone from 17th in the league in rebounding to 2nd. Their three-point shooting has gone from 3rd in the league to 22nd. Ends up in Josh Howard's hands here in the final 4 seconds. Darian Rush, who's had a great half with the block and halftime. What a close to the halftime Rush, who had all 12 of his points in the second quarter. His minutes came because of the Gary Payton.